What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hashtag no music, no intro. A June 1st episode of the hashtag Saints OTA podcast coming at you. And we got quite a few things to talk about in this episode. We're going to kind of dive into OTA observations for week 2. OTAs wrap up. I believe they wrap up tomorrow. And then there's another little period of OTAs, and then there's a mandatory mini camp like mid-June, and then it's nothing, bro. Like it's from like mid-June to training camp. There's just crickets. So we're gonna talk about OTAs. Saints signed Jesse James, tight end. They signed a fullback. Kind of getting that. Got quite a bit to talk about on this show, and we wanted to follow up with what we spoke about, what we talked about last Friday. Happy Pride Month to everyone. But I kind of want to start where we ended the last show, being that the last show did kind of go long and not everyone listens to a whole podcast all the way through. I didn't want it to be buried of what Ryan and I have been able to accomplish this season in our podcast / our business, being actual like season ticket holders for this upcoming season for the Saints, 2023-2024 football season. Can't tell if that was a firework or a gun outside. Hey, wow,
I ducked in my house, nigga.
I don't even live in the hood like that, bro. Anyway, looking outside the window, like, fireworks. Good to know. Don't know why fireworks are popping off on June 1st for whatever reason, but I know if there's any war veterans in this apartment complex or animals. Anyway, sorry, folks. This is what happens in a lot of fucking podcasts. The fact that we are season ticket holders, the fact that this upcoming season we will raffle off a. Bro, tell me why my cat came up here. It was like, Dad, what the fuck going on out there, bro?
You heard that shit?
Like
My cat do the same thing, bro.
He just walked in like, you gonna do something about this? The fact that we're gonna raffle off a season a ticket to each home game this upcoming season. I didn't want that to get lost. But at the end of the day, last week's episode, like that wasn't the goal, but that's a big thing. And Ryan and I had to kind of come together and figure out exactly what what we want or what the criteria is going to be to, for each week for someone to be, for someone to enter the raffle. But I wanted to lead with that because for us, that is a big accomplishment. And like I said last week, man, I'm not saying that we are the only podcast or whatever type of entity like this that is able to say that they're able to do that for their listeners. But I can probably confidently say that I know if we're not the only ones, I know that there's not a huge number of podcasts that do this for our listeners. So the tickets are all loaded up, including preseason games. So it's something that we are definitely looking forward to do for all our listeners, and just the token of just saying thank you as a way to expand, getting more listeners, getting more views, getting more Patreons, all that. So definitely wanted to kind of put that on the forefront. And then I'm going to turn it to you because obviously after the whole John Gruden thing happened, we spoke about it last week and what have you. It was addressed. It was mentioned during one of the Dennis Allen pressers after OTA practice. Shout out to our girl, Catherine Terrell, who's been on the podcast multiple times, at least 2 times off the top of my head, who asked the question of kind of, if there's anyone in the Saints media that's going to ask like a hard hitting question, catch a person.
Yeah.
Cat got you. What were your thoughts to Dennis Allen's response and kind of like this overall, in like the articles that kind of came out and like he was like helping like with the actual like offense, like that make your side like not from the standpoint of he shouldn't have been in the building at all, but just like kind of like what huh? Did it confuse you a little bit? Like, I want to know what you thought about it.
Well, first I was like, what's going on here? Like, was he brought in to actually like pick his brain, help with the offense, help with the install with Derek Carr, or was this like Greg Rosenthal? He theorized that it was just a solid like John Gruden trying to dip his toe back into the league, maybe made a contact. Maybe through Sean Payton, like, hey, can I come visit, make a little visit? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's true or not because it was kind of done in secret. I don't know who leaked it out. Like it was leaked, if it was purposely leaked by the team or if it was leaked by, just a source to Jeff Duncan. There's so many things, like a real good, like investigative reporter. Like, as much as, like, Mike Florio gets on my nerves, like, I would love, like, a Saints Mike Florio to, like, really just be up at 2 a.m. drinking coffee, like, trying to figure out what's going on here.
Because Mike will dig, bro. Like, he annoying as shit, but Mike gonna dig.
Mike gonna dig, bro. But it's like, I don't know, man. And then, DA's response is just like, oh, this is about football, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was the expected response you get from him. But like for me, I just would have like, I wouldn't expect it from him, but I would like, the head coach to be like, look, look, this was about football. We're trying to help our team, but look, I understand that, at least have some semblance of understanding of why some, which they are. Like we've been contacted, you've been contacted, I've been contacted by plenty of people that didn't feel comfortable about that. You know what I'm saying? That didn't like that. Saints fans, people that love the Saints, they love rooting for the Saints, that didn't feel comfortable about that. I would have liked to see a head coach, a leader of the team, at least acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
We know you don't give a shit. We know you don't care, but at least acknowledge that. That's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? But just don't act like, oh, this is about football. Like, come on.
And I said it last week, man. They're in this weird juxtaposition where it's like, oh, okay, we don't care because we're gonna do whatever we want to anyway, right? And let's be honest and fair about this situation, right? that has really been the mentality of the Saints since Sean Payton became the head coach, right?
No question.
Right. It was we're going to do things our way. Love us or hate us, but this is how we're going to run shit. And winning, and this is sports in general, right? Winning cures a lot of shit, right? So the arrogance and the bravado and like, we're going to do whatever we do about the salary cap and have, critics, wondering how we're able to pull off the stuff that we pull off. That was in place and became implemented as part of the Saints DNA, largely because of Sean Payton and kind of just his personality, right? And so now that he's gone and he's left, that still kind of mentality of, okay, we're still going to do what we want to do, even though it morally may not be a good thing, even though we may be alienating parts of our fan base last offseason with Deshaun Watson, this season with anyone of the LGBTQI community by bringing in John Gruden. However, again, it's about winning, right? To me, this showed that Dennis Allen and the Saints organization as a whole feel so much pressure to win this year. I'm not saying this in terms of a justification of it being right, because it's still like it's June 1st, bro. Like it's Pride Month. Like how you gonna do that? Like weeks before Pride Month, right? Like sorry. I'm not gonna go. I did it last week. I'm not gonna go on a tangent. It's just so bothersome. I'm just so like I don't know, bro. Like it's just like and it's not even for me. It's not even the standpoint of like for them. Like I don't even think they even it was not a thought of in their mind when they made that call or they reached out to them, and that's part of the problem. But the pressure on the team as a whole is at some high levels, man. And when I say that, sometimes on the podcast, we'll throw a little nugget out here and there. If you listen hard enough, but I think the Hunter Renfrow potential trade or whatever, or if a trade does happen, I do get a sense that is maybe the momentum behind that, maybe picking up, over the next couple of days. It is June 1st. So there's, now's the time you can, players can be cut and they have that June 1st relief and teams get cap relief. Same thing with trades. So I do think that Hunter Renfrow thing that kind of everyone's kind of talking about quietly and what have you, I think that's a legit possibility within maybe the next couple of days. We briefly touched on the Nuke Hopkins thing last episode and kind of just in passing, but I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I will say that if there's a way where Buffalo and Kansas City cannot figure out a cap gymnastics move to be able to afford Nuke Hopkins, I don't think it's completely outlandish to say that the Saints would be interested in him. And I think that interest may be potentially reciprocated, right? So to me as a fan, potential moves or things like that signify we got to fucking win now. Like now. Well, like we can sell our soul, and they were willing to do it last season with Deshaun Watson. And we're willing to have that stank on us and able to do that. And that becomes a whole different topic and situation of it in entirety. But they need and have to win this season. And if they don't, there's going to be a lot of fucking questions, and there has to be some type of answers and some type of changes made in the organization.
I mean, because honestly, bro, like, they couldn't ask for things to go their way anymore. You look at the schedule. I mean, look, it's hard to predict the schedule, but just on paper, hashtag on paper, they have an easy schedule. They're not facing many top 10 quarterbacks.
Bro, that schedule was cake, bro. Like, we went through the schedule breakdown, and I was like, these niggas got to win like 10 or 11 games, bro. Like, that shit. Cake.
Got to.
Cake, bro.
Got to. But then you just think about where they're coming from last year, just offensively. I mean, you could only go up, right? Like, you bring Derek Carr.
You got to, bro.
You got to, bro. So if it's like still stale with Derek Carr, with the added weapons, with Olave in the second year, Rashid Shaheed in the second year, say they get Michael Thomas back healthy. If it's still like mid to mediocre to bad, heads gotta roll. Like, heads have to roll. That has to come down from the top. So I know they have to feel that pressure. And they put the pressure on themselves. I don't know if they were like a message, like an implicit message was sent to them, like, you got to make it happen, or if they're kind of putting the pressure on themselves, like, man, we got to make it happen. But it's pressure, bro. It's pressure. And, like, it's lined up for them, man. Like, it is lined up for them to succeed. But, I mean, we'll see, bro. I keep coming back to coaching. I'll be looking at the roster.
Coaching, bro.
I'll be like, man, but can they coach these dudes?
Can they coach, though? Can they coach, though?
Pete, man, all eyes on Pete Carmichael. I know we talk about DA.
Oh, thought this nigga's about to. I mean, I know Tupac getting his Hollywood stars. I thought this nigga was breaking out some Tupac on the pod.
Oh man, Pete is about Pete Carmichael, bro. Like, what can you do?
So here's my offensive philosophy question for you, because some of it 100% is on Pete, right? We were talking about this, or y'all were talking. I was busy as shit at work today, but I kind of saw some of the conversation. Y'all were kind of bringing up in the Discord again today of how astonishing the lack of motion was utilized last season. So. Yeah. Even if you have the mandate from the head coach to have a kind of semi-conservative offense, like, you can have a semi-conservative offense and still be creative or try to like scheme some shit open, bro. Like,
right. Exactly.
But I guess
like, Sean Payton had a conservative offense in 2006 with the Saints. Like, it was a conservative kind of milquetoast offense, but it was a good offense.
Yes.
2021 when Jameis started, very.
Yes, it was.
Very, just kind of dribble down offense, but you still had that creativity there. So it's like, it's not saying that you have to kind of have all these freaky plays and all this stuff, but man, you got to bring something in today's NFL.
Something, bro.
To bring something to the table.
You see what Ben Johnson doing. You see what Andy Reid doing. You see what Nick Sirianni doing in Philadelphia. Doug Peterson Zoom interview doing in Jacksonville, bro. Like, did you watch the game that they played against the Chargers on that 4th down play that they called to like?
Oh man,
something, bro. You got to bring something to the table. But I guess the question I was going to ask, it goes back to. How much is on Pete Carmichael in terms of just better play calling or more creative things like motion, etc., and how much is on DA for potentially telling the offensive coordinator, this is the game plan I want to run, kind of stick to it, don't take too many chances, blah blah blah. I guess that my bigger question is at what point. And I kind of lean more to DA. Like, at this point, you got Derek Carr. He has the advanced metrics or next gen stats. He was a top 10 deep passer in the league last season. You gotta spread those legs open a little bit, bro. You got to spread them, bro. You gotta open it up.
Spread them open, man. And it's like, I mean, that goes back to trying to figure out how an organization runs and all that. I don't know, but it's like if DA is not giving that directive, like Pete, he got to force the issue. He got.
But that's bro. Pete ain't forcing shit, bro. Like that.
Yeah, and on the flip side, like DA, he has to push Pete. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to push Pete to, like, man, we need some offense, bro. Like, ain't no way, cause like DA, you can't be that dumb to go and look at last year's, analytics, offensive analytics, and be
that they didn't retain their analytics guy. I wanted to get that in before I forgot it.
He gone.
Man, you said in the Discord he was probably bored as shit, bro.
Bro, I write reports for a living, bro. Like one of the annoyances in my job is, like, I could come up with these like super fire reports, with predictive analysis and stuff like that, but people don't want them. Like the departments, they're like, look, just give me my Excel spreadsheet, that I've been getting for 20 years.
Right.
That's all I want, and that's just how it is.
Okay, I'm gonna make an analogy for you, and maybe you've never encountered this with Bree. But when I tell you it's legitimately in a relationship, it is legitimately one of my pet peeves. Like one of my biggest pet peeves is if your partner asks you your opinion on something, right? It could be which outfit you think looks best, like which pair of shoes, whatever it is, right? And you go, you know what, babe? I think you should go with that one. I think this one looks good or whatever. And they do the absolute exact opposite of what you suggested.
I think every man has been through this, where it's like,
and it's like, then why the fuck are you asking what I think? That's how I'm pretty sure the analytics guy was, right? He had the numbers. DA, like DA is asking him, said, hey, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck his name is. Hey, should we go for it? It's fourth down. Fourth is close. Like, but do you think you go for it? And like, he pulls up the analytics and he's like, yeah, coach. Yeah, Dennis, go for it. The analytics is this. And he, and then he sees the fucking punt team. Bro, that was his life 17 weeks last season.
Yeah, like, man, I'm going to go with my gut on this one, bro.
and that's coming from two people who are not super, like, go for it on fourth down. Like, the shit Brandon Staley does is just idiotic, bro. Like, it's just dumb. But, like, anyway, so I just wanted to get that little note in because I know it was reported this week. But anyhow, sorry. But, like, to your point, going back to Pete and DA and everything.
Yeah, but it's just like, we don't know where it's coming from. But, like, the buck stops with DA. He needs to push Pete to, like, get this offense running, bro. Like, get this offense running to the point where it needs to run. Pete Carmichael been a offensive coordinator longer than DA been a defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pete is stamped. You've been running with the big dogs for a long time, bro. So it's like, what's the issue here? Is it in him or not?
It at this point, besides, and I think this is a big one, right? Besides offensive line and the health of the offensive line, the Saints organization as a whole, front office, has given the offense every reason for them to be successful this upcoming season. Right.
Which is all we asked.
You got a top 15 to 16. Maybe he goes on a heater from time to time and he gets like top 11 to 12-ish quarterback in the league. You have two very, very young, explosive wide receivers. You may have maybe 60, 70, 80% of Michael Thomas for the season. You have Juwan Johnson brought back. You have why do I always want to say Fabian Moreau? That was a player in the NFL. I'm not tripping. Foster Moreau, assuming his cancer stays not bad. I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, you got Taysom on offense, who we don't really know what Taysom is in this offense. They just signed Jesse James, who is like a solid tight end 3 or 4. AK, you got Jamal Williams. Like, it is set up for this offense. An interesting conversation would be it's really hard to do because the Saints offenses at their peak always just had Drew, and the quarterback is such a like head and shoulders above like kind of end all be all. But if we just really thought for like from 2006 to now of where this Saints team ranked talent wise, I'd be very interested to see where we rank them. Just based strictly on talent, offense, defense. I would be right. It's an interesting question. Like offense has to produce, and if not, something got to change. Like I don't know if you got to send Pete on asylum and let Ronald Curry get in there and call some plays.
Let Curry cook a little bit. Let's see what you got, bro. I mean,
something. I want to go back to the whole Jesse James thing, right? Even let's go back to me kind of listing off all the players offensively. They have all that. They have like a depth guy in Brian Edwards. They are trying to maybe add Hunter Renfrow, or potentially might be able to get, and I don't know how feasible it is, but I think both parties are interested, potentially able to add Nuke Hopkins to the offense. Like, and this is why the whole John Gruden thing, like, just annoyed the shit out of me so much, Ryan, because it's like, you guys were doing so good. So good!
The Renfrow thing would be great because it would take so much pressure off the Mike Thomas situation.
Oh, so much, bro.
You know, I mean, just get healthy, bro. Do what you got to do to get healthy, and when you come back, we cooking, man. Like, can we talk about what I mentioned earlier to you? Tre'Quan Smith is not.
You don't talk about it, Ryan. Talk about it.
Let me say this again. Tre'Quan Smith chose to skip voluntary OTAs. That tells me everything I need to know about a player. I don't need to know nothing else. And look, I know it's voluntary, and it is voluntary. And if he might have his better workouts to do, whatever. But you fighting for your life. R. Kelly, fight for my life right now.
You are in a wide receiver room that is crowded as fuck, bro.
And OTAs is where like the veterans can shine. Like you've been in the system for a long time, you come in there and just shine and look better than everybody.
You know the playbook. You know where to line up. Although maybe Tre'Quan still don't know how to line up, bro. Maybe still lifting his leg.
I just think about that. Maybe I'm wrong, But like, bro, come on now, bro. Like that just tells me like you really ain't there. You ain't there.
I was about to say you ain't about shit. That's what I was. Nigga ain't about shit, Ryan.
Like, get him out of get him off the team, bro. Let's get him off.
Please. And it would not shock me in the least if he doesn't make even if he doesn't get cut. Man, Sean Payton might throw us a 6 or 7 for Tre'Quan ass, bro.
I'll take a 2025 6.
Get him. You said it perfectly, man. It just shows so. I don't want to make it be like, oh, if you don't show up like it, but it shows something, bro. Like it does show something. So let's get into OTAs. It's they're winding down. Like week 2 is almost over in terms of OTAs. What obviously, again, Ryan and I are not credentialed. We're probably not going to be credentialed anytime sooner ever. So we can only essentially kind of talk about what other people have put in their observations, whether that's a John Hendricks. That's who I usually are reading my observations through. Sometimes I know Ryan sometimes will read observations through New Orleans football. So from these recent OTAs from this week, anything that caught your eye?
Man, it was tough because like the Saints didn't give the media like a ton of time to watch. I guess what stood out, some things that I just took note of. Who was there? Like they did miss some guys, but for the most part, you had Tyrann Mathieu there. You had Marcus May, which was a change from last year. You know, Cam Jordan there, like 13th year, just like he had every reason not to be there, but he's there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Helping with the young guys. The depth of the coaching staff. How, just seeing videos and clips of Derek Carr, it's like, okay, this is a veteran quarterback. It's like it's like just seeing him is like, okay, the guy knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying that Jameis didn't last year. He was a veteran too. But Carr has kind of a quality about him where it's just like, okay,
he in a weird. I don't want to make him. He's not the next Drew Brees, but he does bring a sense of calm to the offense. Right. It's the best way I could probably explain it.
And you see the little clips or the little pictures of him talking with Chris Olave after they, run some routes, or talking to Shaheed, or talking to Jawan Johnson. It's like that's what you want to see. You want to see that loudness of a loud quarterback, learning to direct the offense, because this is the install. Like you talked to DA said, this is football 101 time of the offseason. Like they just learning how to run base offense, base defense, and stuff like that. And just to see Derek Carr there doing that, performing, from what I've read, he's, targeting all his passes, a lot of short stuff and stuff like that. It's just good to have that going on, man. It's just like you feel like, I know, like from the national media standpoint, they're like, Derek Carr, like snooze fest. They don't know what we've been through.
Man, Derek Carr gets shit on around the league, bro.
Oh, bro, the national media just does not like him, and I get it to a certain extent, because it's just like, he doesn't really have like any, there's not much pop to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But
there is, I don't know, man. And maybe I made way too many assumptions by watching like one half. Like, so I watched the first half that the Raiders played against the Chargers week 1 after the Saints had signed him on, NFL Pass, Game Pass, or whatever. Bro, I watched one half of the Raiders offense and I was like, I'm good, bro. Like we went through Trevor Siemian, Jameis, Taysom, Ian Book, Andy Dalton, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying, man.
I'm good, bro. I was good. Did not need to see any more, Ryan.
I'm good, man. Like, y'all understand, like, he's not elite. Like, okay, he's not. But man, like what I've seen the past 2 years, I've seen enough.
I've seen enough, bro. The old Sean Payton, bro. I've seen enough.
Yeah, man. So just it was just good to see that, from training camp. It's good to see, the health of players. Chris Olave healthy. He's got bigger. He's up to like 192 pounds now. Trying to be more physical.
He needs it, man.
He needs it. He's gained a little weight, still smooth. He's, probably moving better than he was last year, because he's coming off of ACL last year, which was nuts. Like, he just came off ACL.
Did I forget that? Was he coming off ACL last year?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit, that's right. He was.
On the shelf the whole training camp. Like, he was like, who is this guy? And he just came in making plays. So, like,
man, there's some OTA buzz about Shaheed, bro. There's
a lot of buzz. He making plays, bro. Like, it's all on him. It'll be up to him how good he wants to be. Like, it's not like a huge drop off between Chris Olave and Shaheed.
Nigga putting hot takes on the podcast right now.
It's not a huge drop off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, Olave will catch more, but you might see Shaheed on a highlight reel more, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a fair analogy. I think that's a fair analogy, man. Absolutely.
So now the Saints, you got these two guys, and potential Mike Thomas, potential Renfro, Jawan Johnson. Then you got Foster Moreau just back there chilling, cats just chilling. You heard me? Just out. Cats, they call it benign. Cats are just benign, man.
Man said the only malignant thing he knows is about on the field, bruh. Oh,
and
bro,
we going to the running backs.
We going to hell in a handbasket, nigga. Just.
I already know, bro. We ain't get to the running backs, bro.
Haven't even touched him, bro.
Alvin Kamara, bro, most slept on running back in the league right now. I know you don't listen to like national NFL podcasts anymore. I listen to him, bro, and like people doing like top 10 running back. Alvin Kamara, no way.
Like he doesn't even exist.
Doesn't even exist, bro. And it's
to be like I said, like to be fair, like the last couple of seasons,
bruh,
the play calling, the injuries, the bad offensive line, run blocking, like it's been
two touchdowns last year. Like
how, nigga, how? Oh, getting back to Pete.
Getting back to
offense. Can we use this motherfucker in the passing game, please?
I can't remember the podcast. I don't know if it was around the league or Daniel Jeremiah. One of the podcasts they was talking about Christian McCaffrey, number 1 running back in the league. Because he got traded. He got traded to Shanahan, and he showed what he could really do. I was like, man, like if you would have sent Kamara to Shanahan, it would have been probably the same, like out better. Or
right.
It would have been in that same area of production. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what you got right there. The Saints use
not even
that.
Using it, bro. Not even using it.
It's driving me crazy, man.
Bro, it's like you have you able to get lucky and get a like a real freak, bro. Just real, just nasty. And you want to go home every night and you just okay with missionary with the lights off. Like no, bro. Like bring out some toys and some get explore, bro. Like I need Pete to explore.
Put the camera on,
Shit, you got the tripod. I'm just saying, Ryan. Like it's criminal. It's criminal, bro.
It's really criminal. And I'm to that point with my Saints fandom where like okay, I'm kind of Super Bowl, blah blah blah, whatever. I just want to see like the players I like succeed. And
that's it, bro. Like succeed, have some big play. Like I miss AK big plays. I miss them, bro.
Miss them, man. Miss them.
Two things I wanted to that I noticed in kind of reading John Hendricks's observations. Well, actually, this has been a trend in terms of the OTA's observations the last 2 weeks, and maybe we talked about it, and maybe I'm not remembering, but Peyton Turner in the base defense can't be a starting defensive end, bro. But you got Big Creep out there.
Big Creep, baby.
As in base, as starting DE, bro.
Yeah.
I get it. It's OTAs, but it's also not lost on me of how telling that is.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw how the season ended. So
yep,
it's just a continuance, and it's up to Peyton. The Saints staff would love nothing but Peyton Turner to show up and force his way into being a starting defensive end. They would love it. He has to do it. It's up to him. He's not being given no more passes.
None, bro. None at all, Ryan. Not a single one. And I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it, but John Hendricks did kind of have an observation that from time to time, when they went to nickel, Alontae Taylor went to the slot.
Yeah. Interesting.
Come on. At this point, I am a component of get all your best coverage corners on the field. So I'm giving. I know. Don't back me, bro. Paul Debo had a down season. I was told that it was really probably underreported of how injured he was last season, bro. And it's hard enough playing cornerback in the NFL, period, as it is the hardest position in sports. And me and you agree with that, and no one could ever convince me otherwise. But playing that position and like being hurt, like your ankle is it like man, nah, bro. So I'm giving him a mulligan for a sophomore season. So, if he could even get back to what he was his rookie season on game day, having him, a healthy Lattimore, Alontae Taylor, I don't want to see Bradley Roby, bro. Don't want to see him. Don't need it. Don't need it. But having those three out there and just haven't figured it out, and if it's one of those things where it becomes like a matchup thing, right? Like, to me, if I was a DC or a defensive head coach, I am assigning my cornerbacks as long as I know that at least one of them or one or two of them can go into the slot, interchangeably. I'm doing it based off matchups, bro. That's like we've seen Marshawn, if he's following or traveling with the wide receiver, if that receiver goes into the slot, he plays the slot, right? We've seen it. So I don't want to see. I know Brad. The last report at the practice they were at, Bradley Roby wasn't at the OTA practice or whatever. I need those three to be the starting cornerbacks on the field, and the only reason that shouldn't happen is unless one of them is injured. That's simple, bro.
Straight up. And look, Alontae Taylor being in the slot, that's good coaching because you got to learn every spot. He needs to learn left, right, slot. Probably need to play a little safety. Like, you got to learn all the spots. We'll see where it ends up, but ideally, you want to see him being a perimeter cornerback that could potentially move around if he needs to.
Yes.
And man, his swag is on 100. He wearing the number 1. I watched the interview he did on New Orleans football. Dude is like super confident. Talked about how Marshawn Lattimore coaches him up a lot, bro. Like, which is good to hear. Like,
yeah, it is.
Lattimore is one of them dudes you just kind of go with the flow, just chilling. Now, Lattimore coached him up game day, be on text with him, film study, all that stuff. And like Alontae Taylor, his mind state, he wants to be like gold jacket.
Right.
So I love it. Like, I ain't saying you're gonna get it, but if you're thinking like that, that's what I want to hear. Like, I want that type of confidence out of my cornerbacks. And this was a day where Jabari Greer got inducted to the Saints Hall of Fame.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. And I was just watching this video and it got me thinking, because he talked about when he got signed, he was so apprehensive because of the history of Saints defensive backs.
Man, ain't that some shit, bro?
Ain't that some shit? Like, because the Saints had, bro, like, even when the Saints had good defenses, they had shitty.
Oh, boy.
Shitty, but they never had great cornerbacks.
No, bro, no. You used the right fucking adjective, bro. It was rough.
And, Jabari Grill's like, man, these people told him, like, man, it's time for you to change it. And he did.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. He laid the groundwork for like a new generation of Saints DBs to be.
Man, he really did. And I said in the Discord, and I stand by it, is that he signed the year they made their Super Bowl run and won the Super Bowl, and I said that season he was a top 3 to top 5 at worst cornerback in the league, and
you was shutting him down, bro.
Like it wasn't Darrelle Reeve-esque, but like it was like maybe a tier, like he was erasing wide receiver ones completely from games, Ryan. It was insane how good he was that season.
insane. He missed a couple of games, got injured, but then he came back for the playoffs, Brian. You didn't hear a peep.
Nothing.
You wouldn't even know he played because he was just taking this guy out and wasn't targeted.
Man, just made me reminisce a little bit, bro. Just a little reminisce. Like, that was a fucking year. That shit was 13 years ago, bro. 13, 14 years ago.
Damn.
Getting old, bro. Anything else? Like, I want to go back to the whole Jesse James thing and just say, like, it's such a good, like, little, like, low key move. Like, just depth and just. It's
I've
like,
been a fan of him a long time.
Ryan. Like, you guys are doing so many on quote unquote hashtag on paper good moves. Like, can y'all just for one off season? Can y'all just stay away from the fucking the tomfoolery? Just just stay away from it. Like, just stop, please, bro.
Like, I forgot they got James Washington. I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, they got.
Bro, you know what? Until you just said it, completely had left my mind, and that was one of my draft bays, bro. Like, that's how deep the wide receiver room is in Traquan. Like, you know what?
Like, man,
no.
I'm gonna chill at the house, man.
I don't think I will.
Pete wasn't there either. You ain't just Pete, boy. If you don't get your ass spinning, boy.
Pete said, you know, Pete already peeing early, bro. He said, you already know what it is.
Man, you already know what's up.
Trying to just, you know, see anything else that just may have kind of caught my eye or anything like that. No, I mean, that's it. It is. I one of the things that I'm going to harp on this entire, you know, ramp up to training camp and throughout training camp is about I'm going to have an eye super focused on the offensive line and the health and where it's such to me it's such a huge thing.
Huge, bro. Trevor Penning, I saw videos. He's not doing much. He's kind of standing back there. He's not in the boot or nothing, but he's just kind of standing back, just watching, man. So it's all eyes on him for training camp, man. Like where he is with his health. Is he able to maintain his health? How good is he? Is he good? Can he play? Can he start? We don't even know if he can start yet, bro.
We don't, bro.
There's so many questions with him that we just won't know until like months from now. What else? Jari Evans, he's coaching with Doug Marrone. It's kind of cool. What else? Looking at some of these notes. Jake Henner. Every time I see him, he just looks good, man. Like, I know, like, we gonna clown them pictures forever, bro. Like, those pictures will forever
immortalized, bro. Immortalized.
But, man, brother, dude can play, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just we won't fight. Well, we'll see. Maybe in preseason, maybe that's Jake Hayner's season. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Jameis and Jake Hayner could really cook during the preseason, so that'll be interesting.
Here's something I'll ask you, and I also want to. I think this is maybe the only person on Twitter that was blocked, unblocked, reblocked, unblocked again, and got blocked a third time. And John Singlet, bro. Like I but he wrote this article or whatever, and it was like the absolute most clickbaity fucking title of an article.
It's cold out here, man. Like, gotta get them clicks, baby.
Man, you talking, bro? We produce content. Like, who you talking to? I get it, bro. I'm in the game too. But like, the title of the article essentially insinuated like there had been talks between the Saints.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, come on, John. You could throw a question mark on there. Be like, could Jameis be a trade candidate? Question mark. Like that would have completely changed it. But he's like, because when you read it, you're like, okay, oh shit, something cooking.
No, it's just complete speculation.
Man, cool. Come on, Sid. Don't fall for the cheese, bro. Don't bite the cheese.
R.I.P. Barry, but if he was still alive, bro, he would have copy pasted that shit. Word for word, title for title, bro.
Rest in peace, my dude Barry, bro.
Going to hell, bro. Just going straight to hell. Trying to think if there's anything. I will say this, kind of getting back to the defense, and I don't know if it means anything in the grand scheme of things because it probably doesn't. But they still do play. Zach Bond at that that weak it'd be like the weak linebacker position. Sounds like he made a good play that led to like an interception with good coverage. And can these niggas figure out how to utilize this man's skill set? Like 20% of something, bro. I get it. And the thing with Zach Bond, bro, is like I don't even get mad at him.
Bro,
I have no ill will in my body towards him because he's not put in a position that is suited for his fucking skill set. Like it's just
man.
Like you tell this man
find a role for the guy. Find a role for this guy.
That's not on special team. Like getting back to the whole media thing, can someone in the media ask Dennis Allen to back Zach Bond this season? Like if it was me. Yeah, hey Dennis, I just wanted to, Zach Bond, 3rd round pick. You guys transitioned him to off-ball linebacker as soon as he was drafted. Most of his time at Wisconsin, 80-90% of the time he was a pass rusher, rushed the passer, got after it. Doesn't seem like that transition for him's worked for him as a pro. Is there anything that you guys may be able to do differently that can utilize his skill set to help the defense and maybe improve the pass rush?
Love the answer. I don't know.
That was just out the top, Ryan. Just boom. Just want to know. I want to know, bro. Like, bro, you know what? If they don't even want to ask it, if they listen to this podcast, can someone in the media just clip that? Just clip it. Just clip it, bro. Just play it. I need to know because as the jokes are funny and the bonfire and that's Joey's dude. Like if he could just bring a little pass rush to the offense, or excuse me, to the defense that obviously desperately needs a little pass rush emphasis, and hopefully it isn't super heavily reliant on rookies making an impact. Like that helps the defense, and pass rush is gonna be an issue this season. Hopefully not. It may pleasantly surprise us, but like for all intents and purposes, like unless the rookies come out with their hair on fire, it might be an ongoing issue all season. This man can at least try it. It might not work, but try it.
And it's like we've seen him. Like remember Bonfire? We've seen him like when the player's in front of him and he's attacking downhill, he could be like a monster. So like do whatever you got to do defensively to get him, even if it's not pass rushing, like just lining up on the edge or whatever, but maybe some stunts, some blitzes, some, just some creativity.
Something.
Use that ability, even if it's just on 3rd down or something, man.
Like just I would have him in the game, and it probably like defensively at some point it probably doesn't work because there's ways where the offense could take advantage of it, but from time to time, a couple of times a game, if it's a pass rush situation, I'm putting him on the field and I'm telling him, your responsibility is to green dog blitz. Yeah. If you see the running back leaves the formation, goes out on a pass route, you go and sack that quarterback, bro. Just simple as that. Simple. Like don't worry about the running back in coverage. I'll make sure a safety or another linebacker or a cornerback will cover him. You just go get him. That's it, bro.
Or even like, not to just stay on the Zach Bond thing, but even if he's like they did Hassan Reddick, the Eagles, use him as a fifth rusher. Because what happens is either one, he gets lined up against tight end, which you know is a winnable matchup. Two, they use all 5 offensive linemen, which you get a 1-on-1 matchup for your other guys. You get a 1-on-1 matchup for Cam Jordan and your defensive tackle or whoever. Like it's a win. Like obviously you can't do that every snap, but when it's, 3rd and 8, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do that and see what happens, man. Like I gotta see some more, bro. Like you can't tell me you can't come up with nothing for this dude. But other than that, like it's hard to like pull defensive, like some defensive thoughts from the OTAs because they're not hitting.
Right. Yes.
Not doing anything.
Very simplistic.
Yeah, very simplistic. It was. I guess I've heard some good things about the rookie. What's his name? Howden.
Jordan Howden.
Kid. Jordan Howden. Yeah, it's kind of forgotten kid. Have heard good things about him. So look, he's there. He's performing. We'll see where that ends up for him. It's good to see Isaiah Foskey. Just looking at him, he just looks like bro. Like you would have told me like he was like already in the league. I'd have thought so because he just looked like a veteran just there.
Yeah, he look like he just looks like he belongs, bro.
Looks like he belongs, man. And Brian Breesy. I mean, look, until the pads come on, we don't know. But look, he's
man. I'm just glad that he's out there practicing, like showing that he's healthy.
He's healthy. He's moving around. Look like he's ready to go. Like I can't wait for the training camp when the pads come on to see, what kind of damage he could do, man. Because like this is probably the healthiest he's been in years.
Right.
So with a clear mind, not going through all the things he's been through. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that works. And just looking at the defense as a whole, when you look at all the people, I started to realize that, man, this is going to be like a back to front defense. Like it's going to.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to start with the secondary, kind of like the Ravens were the last couple of years when they had a good secondary, where it's going to start there. They're going to mix it up. They're going to run every coverage you can think of. They're going to try to confuse quarterbacks. And they're hoping that's going to help the defensive line rather than the defensive line helping the secondary.
Right. Yes. Without question. I agree with, on both those points in regards to Breesy, Foskey. Even thinking about it, when we were kind of doing this little rundown for the offense and kind of going through each offensive player that they had, and I left him out because it just hasn't been on my my forefront, and that he's not currently healthy right now. When we went through the running backs, they got Keandre Miller, bro. Like
just cooling.
Just this offense got to produce, man. It got to produce. It got to produce. So as we wrap up, this is the last question. This is the last question I'll ask you. We're approaching an hour. Nice, good, long episode. Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
If the Saints can't, and I know we did our predictions and in terms of the schedule, if the Saints can add to kind of close this offseason, a veteran pass rusher, not Frank Clark, and either Hunter Renfrow or Nuke Hopkins, how many games should that Saints team win?
So you had Nuke and...
So either Nuke or Renfrow and a veteran pass rusher, not Nuke and Renfrow, or...
Who's still out there as far as pass rusher? You got okay, Frank Clark.
Yannick
Floyd.
Ngakoue, Leonard Floyd, Clowney, Justin Houston. I think that's kind of where the batch is right now.
Man, you had Clowney or Floyd or
I would love Floyd. He doesn't fit.
Right.
He doesn't fit their profile per se, but in terms of just like production and just being a good pass rusher, he has everything you want as a pass rusher. Just in terms of what you would want to add to this defense, he checks all the boxes.
And you had Renfro too. I'm not even gonna go to just Renfro. Man, you talking about one of the more talented. If everybody's healthy, I ain't gonna say everybody healthy. Say most of the starters are healthy. I mean, that's one of the more talented teams in the NFC, bro.
It really is, bro.
So if you can't win I ain't gonna say if you can't win 11. If you can't win 10, you should do 10 easily.
Yeah, man.
But really 11, 12.
If we talking straight up with those additions, and obviously we got health plays a factor, but health plays a factor for everybody, across the board, and I think again it goes back to offensive line. That team should win 11 or 12 games, bro.
It really should.
If you add in Renfro and a Leonard Floyd and a Justin Houston, that Saints team gotta win, bro. They have to win.
It'll be by far the best defense Derek Carr ever played with. By far.
Not even close. Not even close. Even without those additions, it's the best defense.
Oh yeah, you're right, exactly.
But yes, yeah. Without question. It'll be this month. I know it's gonna be that dead period after mandatory mini camp, but this could be a really interesting month, kind of just across the league in general. With it being June 1st, I wouldn't, I expect, we expect like a player like Dalvin Cook to potentially be cut from the Vikings. There's going to be some free agency cuts, or not free agency, sorry, veteran cuts around the league. So there may be a player that becomes available. And it's rare that it's a player that's I was like, oh shit, was not expecting that. But it happens from time to time. We're like, oh shit. But be interesting to keep a lookout for things of what's going to happen these next couple of weeks. But it was good to get on here. Catch up, talk about Saints news, let you guys know what we're doing in regards to the podcast, where the business is going, where the podcast is going, in terms of having season tickets that we're going to be raffling off each week that there's a home game for this upcoming season. I love it, man. I love it. We have goals that we want to hit, we want to get to. And just as a quick reminder, if you are a Patreon and maybe you haven't kind of put it you're a Patreon, you kind of forgot about it, just make sure you just go to Patreon from time to time. Just make sure you make sure that the most updated payment card method or however you is all updated, because it causes it's finicky from time to time when it goes to pull the first of the month. So if everyone could update that or just check, make sure your information is updated, that'd be great. We don't super expect to get a lot of new Patreons, especially during what's considered the absolute dead season of football, kind of approaching until training camp. But we are still going to be doing things throughout this time. We have this huge Saints OTA podcast brunch in Malibu next month in July, kind of this big West Coast meetup. Obviously we're having our big podcast meetup in New Orleans in November for the Bears game, the West Coast meetup for the Rams game. We got 30 people coming. That's a whole that's a starting offense and defense, bro. 20 whole section, just us 10 each row got 10 of us deep, bruh, deep.
Houston.
Oh, yep.
We're gonna be out there. Then you got like, bro, like just the Discord. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Zooms this year, bro. It's actually an interesting season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is, man.
No, regardless of what happens, like those first couple of weeks are going to be so fascinating, man. So I can't wait for the Zoom game day lives we do with everybody on there, just joking, laughing at all the ridiculousness. I'm looking forward to that, bro. Like, so if you're not a Patreon, you need to get on. There's no, like, a lot of Patreons, they have these scales. You do $5, $10 plans, $20 plans. With us, $1 or more. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to pay $1, you could join. $5, $10, whatever you feel your heart tells you to do.
Or whatever you can afford, whatever your budget is. Like, right? Like, we get it. Yeah. Trust us. We get it. We get it. So, you know, don't feel that if you even just $1 isn't something, because trust me, it is. And then, like Ryan just said, even with that $1, you get access to the Discord, you get access to be able to do all these meetups and things with us, do the Zooms that we're gonna do during the preseason, during the regular season. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We really have big goals that not only are we hoping to accomplish, that we feel confident that we're going to be able to reach and accomplish this season, and we're really excited about it. So thank everyone for listening. Again, happy Pride Month to everybody. We will be back next week. I mean, we will be back next week. What we'll be talking about, I don't know, but we'll be back. Thank you for the support. As always, we wouldn't be able to do this without all the support that we get from all the listeners, all our Patreons, everyone who retweets, who repost on TikTok, who likes and does that promotion for us on Instagram. And I'm so proud of this community we built, that because of this community, there are now other podcasts that are happening.
Spin-offs.
It's beautiful to see, man. So thank y'all for the support. As always, we appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. And with that, we're out.
Peace.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly.